as a priest, as a personal choice. It has nothing to do with either the spiritual house that I'm a part of and initiated into, which is over 300 years old. This is my personal choice. I work mainly with women in this time, and there's a reason for this. The reason is that women have been systematically targeted by the Christian patriarchal system, and also the new wave of immorality that is sweeping Jamaica at this time focuses on women. In other words, we see now where women are being told, and it came up the other day, I think it was Lisa Hanna that was talking about it, that certain dancehall artists are saying them don't want a shy girl, them don't want a shy, them want the girl who are out, right? And so we know that the music industry is guided by particular hands. And we know that the hands that guide the music industry serve a particular superstructure. I'll not call them out here because I don't want this to get banned. Because if I mention them, this video will get banned, right?
It sure will.
Yeah,
It
man.
sure will. This is their platform.
Yeah, man. So the superstructure that governs the music industry, which has swept up Jamaica by storm, is clearly targeting women. And one particular extremely popular dancehall artist, and you mentioned it, I think it was week before last, I think you spoke about it. This guy was coming out and telling women what to do, what to put them out and what to put them hand on and all of these things, and how to dress and how to react and how to behave themselves out on the road or in the dance hall. And now that he has taken up his other kind of person, he's saying that not everyone wants to be like what he was teaching our women to be. And what is the reason for this? This is because they know that the bloodline that birthed Nanny, right? The bloodline that birthed Mary C. Cole, the bloodline that birthed Cuba Cornwallis, all of these great women, healers, mothers, you know, pioneers, continues to run in the veins of us today. And so because of that, they don't want the rebirth of the great woman. You know, there's a very particular sister whom I have a lot of respect for, and her name is Vicky Dillard, and she speaks very deeply about the Sibyls. And the Sibyls were the original priestesses of the world. And it's very important to understand something. Indigenous political structures, indigenous social structures, indigenous spiritual structures are matrilineal, not necessarily matriarchal. Matriarchal means only owned and governed by women. But matrilineal means that it is passed along, the spiritual vein is passed through the mother side. And this is how it has always been in Jamaica. Okay? So my mother's side, from my mother's side, even though my father's side, of course, is also deeply spiritual, etc. There are a lot of priests on my father's side and lineage, but it was through my mother's side that I inherited very deeply, especially the ability to dream, the ability to remember the names of herbs, etc., the ability to remember oral history, etc. Land is also normally passed through the woman and through the matriline. So for me, because of the matrilineal clan that I grew up in on my mother's side, I even bear my mother's surname. And this was a requirement of my family. So even though the legal structure is not there today, and you inherit your father's surname, etc., my mother did a deed poll on my name to ensure that that tradition was honored. So I bear my mother's surname. And this will continue to pass through my bloodline. And so my focus is mainly on women. The healing of women has always been a passion for me. My mother, when she was alive, she suffered with fibroids, etc. And at that time, my knowledge was not so great. So at that time, I did not know what to do. It was a constant source of pain for me. And so I dedicated myself to learn the herbal modalities, etc., to heal the womb, to heal the woman, etc. And so because of this, and because I know that I am an inheritor, even though I'm a male, I'm an inheritor of that ancient feminine priesthood. I know that as a priest, it is my duty now to try to guide women back to sacredness. So I don't have a problem with men, really and truly. And I would hope and wish and pray that my brothers would rise up and come out of the mundane, come out of the spiritual muck, etc. But my guidance from spirit, my instruction from spirit is to work mainly with women, because I grew up in a matriarchal household, not a matrilineal household. My grandmother was like the supreme matriarch of our family. Right? There's even a title within my clan, my mother's clan, that goes to, or that is vested, that the that so just like how in the United States you have Big Mama, right? So that was my grandmother, right? And so she had that title, and it is something that I know is present in many other families. I know that it is present in many other clans. And so that is my calling, my personal calling. And so because of that, I encourage women to also contact me. I know that there have been, and this is a major problem too, many of our male spiritual practitioners, they take sex as payment, right? And they insist in many cases, and this is a part of the lack of ethics that plague our spiritual tradition here in Jamaica, where they will say you can't get treatment if you don't run the something for me, right? And so this is another thing that I am doing my best to change. Not because I'm a man, not because I'm a priest means that I'm going to run you down for your front, right? And I want women to be comfortable, to seek guidance, to seek healing from priests, from male practitioners, because not all of us are like that.